Well. If you're going to win a game, you might as well beat their ass. Salute to all the diehards. Um, this is Die Hard Giants Live, and I'm your man. I am Jarrell on IG and Twitter. Salute to everybody in the chat. The Eagles are quitting on us, and we are up 24-0 on the light snow drizzle in MetLife Stadium. I got Steph in the background. Let me get her in here. Steph, salute.
Salute, Jarrell. Salute, family. I'm a bit surprised at how the Giants is playing or Philly is not playing, however you want to frame it.
Yeah, I'm a definitely get into that because I am actually not that surprised by this, but I'm gonna tell you why. Salute to everybody in the chat. Let me check on everybody in the chat real quick. Salute to Mega, Geraldine, the first lady, Rob Bracy, Dwayne's in the house. Who else? Wonder Woman. I see a whole bunch of draft talk in here about the slots. I'll get to all the comments soon. Hold on one second. Wonder Woman, salute. Who else? Nah, Dwayne, Mega, Rob, Wonder Woman, Geraldine. I think we got everybody. Okay, so this is why I'm not completely surprised because the Eagles actually lost to the Cardinals last week, just like Dallas did like about a month and a half ago. Not saying the Cardinals is all that or anything. But the Eagles are in bad shape, period. Not just this game. They haven't been playing well ever since the 49ers beat them. They haven't looked the same. Their offense haven't looked the same. Their defense definitely haven't looked the same. That's the reason the Cardinals beat them last week. I did not think we were going to win this game though, but soon as we scored on them, AJ Brown got hurt. I kind of knew Dallas. This is a big game for them because if Dallas loses and Philadelphia wins, Philly actually wins the division. But Dallas is actually winning, and I think they're up 2 possessions on the Commanders now. So they don't really have anything to play for now because regardless if they would have won or lost today, a Dallas win means Dallas won the division, I should say. But the Eagles was playing for the number 2 seed when this game started. That's not saying I think they quit now, but in the beginning of this game, they definitely wanted to win the game. Right. So as soon as AJ Brown went down, I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
They looked bad too. It almost looked like a ACL. I hope it's not because he's been killing this year and he's a huge part of their offense. Devontae Smith isn't playing today. So they was already out one of their wide receivers. But A.J. Brown going down in the first quarter was huge. We actually hurt Jalen Hurts too. Bobby Okereke on a sack. Well, not a sack. He was rushing the passer, and Jalen Hurts threw the ball. I think his hand either hit his helmet or his face mask or shoulder pad or something. So he, like his middle finger, the top of it, I don't know if it was dislocated or fractured or whatever, but you could tell it was looking funny. So they taped that up, and that was his throwing hand. After that, I think he went in for one more series, and it was a wrap. So I actually think he's hurt. Like they're quitting because they're not going to win the division, but regardless, they still would have had their backup quarterback in, if that makes sense. Like now, a couple other starters will be sitting, but before, yeah, they was just getting their ass beat. Like we was handing it to them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know the way that we're playing. We're definitely going to win this game. I will get into the draft stuff now. I see you guys talking about where would we be at. I did have a stat here. Hold on one second. When it first started, when the game started, if we would have won and the Chargers would have lost, we get 6. That's what I think that's going to happen now. So we're probably locked into the 6th pick. If we would have won and the Chargers would have won, they're playing Kansas City right now. They don't have a chance against Kansas City, I don't think. I don't even know the score of the game, but I will expect that they will lose. We would have got the 5th pick if the Chargers would have beat the Chiefs. And if we would have lost and Arizona and the Commanders would have won, we would have got the 4th pick. I don't think we're going to lose this game. And the Commanders and Arizona, I don't think they're going to win their games. So I think we're locked into the 6th pick. So I think everybody, if you're going to do any draft stuff going forward, just look at it as we're going to get the 6th pick of the draft, not the 5th. Let me see what you guys are saying.
Was with or without this win?
With the win, like with this win,
Mm-hmm.
is the 6th pick because of like it only way we could have got 4th or 5th if Arizona and the Commanders would have won their games as well. But I think they're both losing.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers are losing now too. So if they all would have won and we would have lost, we would have got the 4th pick.
Okay, so I don't have to feel bad about this win.
Nah, not really. We're going to drop down one spot, like because when the day started, we was at 5. If everything would have went right for us, we would have been 4. If we win, we get 6. We would have moved up one slot or moved back one slot. So we shouldn't really be too mad about this win. And plus, it's the Eagles, and they're not our number 1 rival. So anytime we get to beat their ass, I'm straight.
Yeah, you should have a good week at work.
Yeah, good week at work. I can't wait. I can't wait to go. Even though I do work from home tomorrow, I'm going to talk my stuff through group chats and all that stuff because I'm not going to see anybody in person. But yeah, once I get into the office on Tuesday, I'm definitely going to talk my stuff because they've been talking to me all year. This combined with the Knicks actually beating the Sixers on Friday, we having a pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
Beat their ass too, Steph.
Mm-hmm, I saw that.
Good
too. Good.
And
good.
And Washington too. So the Knicks is on a 4-game winning streak. The Giants is going to get a win today. So it's actually going to be a good weekend for New York sports. The Jets actually beat. Did a little bit of Jets talk. The Jets actually won today. They beat New England, and that actually might be Bill Belichick's last game as the head coach of the New England Patriots. So, that for the Jets, that's saying something because he's pretty much owned them the whole time that he's been in New England.
Wow.
Like, I forgot what type of winning streak that they have against the Jets, right. But I don't think the Jets have beaten the Patriots in like 10 years, it seems like. Like, it's been a very, very long time. And I think this was the first win that they had against them in a very long time. Yep, Mega, I'm going to have a very good work week. It ain't even start yet, and I'm psyched. I can't wait. And I don't never want to go to work. Compared to what I'm saying? I don't never want to go to work. So I definitely can't wait to go to sleep and wake up in the morning to talk my stuff. Yeah, I'm seeing if anybody else have any questions. Got a question for later. If Giants, okay, hold on. Dwayne said, got a question for later. If Giants lose out on the top 3 quarterbacks and Bears pick a quarterback, do you see the Giants maybe going after Justin Fields? No, I don't see us going after Justin Fields because he has to get paid soon. Oh, if we do, look at this. See, the Eagles quit, yo. They sorry. And I see on the scoreboard, that's why they got the Dallas scoreboard up there. They up 28-10 on Washington. So yeah, Philly knows that they're not playing for anything right now. They're already locked into the 5th seed and will play the Buccaneers, I believe, in the first round of the playoffs next week. But to answer Dwayne's question, Justin Fields, I don't think we're going to go after Justin Fields because I think one of the big reasons for us to go after a quarterback in the draft is to start the clock over again. Everybody knows that the quarterback is the highest paid player on the team. That's why Daniel Jones got his $40 million. But after next season, his $40 million comes off the books. If we do trade for Justin Fields, it's probably going to cost us at least maybe a second because the other teams are probably going to go for him. I don't think he's going to go for a first-round pick or anything like that. But if we do get Justin Fields, we'll have both Daniel Jones and Justin Fields on our books next year. But say we would get DJ off at the end of next season, but then we will have to lock in Fields, and that's another 40, maybe over 40 million, depending on how he plays. So that doesn't start the clock over for us, and we have too many holes in other areas for that.
Right.
I think Justin Fields is good, but I don't think he's good enough for us to do that. At least I will hope not.
Right.
But if we did do something like that, yeah, that would be a big head scratcher because of money, not because of how good Justin Fields is. So I hope that answers Dwayne's question. I wouldn't do that just because of the money. Because Justin Fields, his extension has to come up just like DJ's came up. I think he was drafted the year after him. So um, yeah, I don't want to go into a $40 million contract with Daniel Jones, and the next season we got Justin Fields to have to do the whole thing all over again.
And that's how a lot of teams get good. They get a good quarterback on a rookie contract, and then they got those 2, 3, 4 years to really sign good players around them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Hold on, Rob got another question. He says, "Who can we get at 6?" That remains to be seen, man. It all depends on who's on the board, how many quarterbacks go. Obviously, Williams, Drake May from North Carolina. They're the two highest rated quarterbacks on the board for everybody. I would think like the consensus, what everybody's talking about. But then there's Daniels from LSU, Penix from Washington, and I think those 4 are the 4 quarterbacks that, as a Giants fan, you need to look at. All of them have, plus and minuses to their games. I will go through all of those during the draft process because I think we're definitely going to be looking at a quarterback, even if we did drop down to 6. It's still possible. It's a possibility for us to get one of those with a trade. That's something that we obviously did not want to do because you can have to pay an arm and a leg to jump from 6 to 1 or 6 to 2. But yeah, we will see. I still think we're even if we drop back to 6, which we are going to, I still think we're in the range to get a quarterback of the future.
Okay.
Rob said, "Who is that quarterback?" Yeah, it all depends, man. Like I like Jalen Daniels, the one that he won the Heisman Trophy this year for LSU. But it all depends who Brian Dable fall in love with.
Who's the top 5?
The top 5, like regardless of position or just quarterbacks.
No.
Quarterbacks, I would say Caleb Williams from USC, Drake May from UNC, Jalen Daniels from LSU, Michael Penix Jr. from Washington Huskies, and I think for the 5th, maybe I'll throw in like Bo Nix from Oregon, and McCarthy from Michigan. Those are like there are like 6 quarterbacks now. I think that might go in the 1st round.
All right, and everybody ahead of us doesn't need a quarterback, correct?
No. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all right, so we'll be good then. We'll get one of them.
Yeah, we will get one of them, but I don't know. Like, I think I would be fine with Jalen Daniels, especially with the type of offense that we run. Michael Penix Jr. is probably a better thrower of the football. He's a more seasoned passer than Daniels, but I don't know. I might be a little shell shocked because we already have an injured quarterback now. Michael Penix from Washington, he's going to play for the national championship. Matter of fact, him and McCarthy are going up against each other in the national championship next week or tomorrow, I think. But I think Michael Penix Jr. already has 2 ACL tears in his career, so he's already coming off 2 of those. As the New York Giants moving forward, do you want to draft a quarterback with? You're already moving from a quarterback that has neck issues and an ACL tear now. Do you, for your quarterback in the future, do you want to draft a quarterback with 2 ACL tears already?
Are they in separate knees?
That's a good question.
Because if they're in separate knees, he got them out the way. We get.
I don't know. That I do have to look up. It might be the same knee. It might be the same knee. So if it is the same knee, 2 in the same knee, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to, he can throw the hell out of the football, but trying to escape out of the pocket, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be scared every time he scrambles. I see Rob said that we have to shore up the O-line at some point, but yeah, you don't have to shore up the O-line just in the 1st round, though.
Right.
Like the Giants have already already have done that. Like we have plenty of in the past 10 years, we've had multiple first round picks. Like our two tackles now are first round picks or top 10 picks at that. Our starting center is like a high caliber second round pick that could have been drafted in the first. So, yeah, unless you're saying that we should draft another tackle in the first round to, I don't know, maybe slide Evan Neal inside. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to go quarterback, even at 6.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be put. You never know when it comes to the draft. Like this is just me in my head how they would move, but you never know. Depending on how the draft board falls and how much they love some of the linemen, you might pick a lineman at 6. You never know.
The Giants need to not pick a lineman until the 3rd round. We've been picking linemen in the 1st and
Early.
2nd round for like 10 years already.
Right, it's just not working.
And it's not working.
Like for one, we definitely need to get rid of Bobby Johnson. That's our O-line coach now.
Mm-hmm.
But the O-line, like to be honest, they've actually been serviceable in the second half of the season. It was the first half of the season when our quarterbacks was getting killed because after Daniel Jones went down, it was just Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito, right? But both of them, especially Tommy, he holds onto the ball a lot. So his sacks wasn't just on the offensive line. Half of them was on him.
Right.
So I don't know. Like we'll see. I don't know who they're going to pick, obviously, but I can narrow it down though. There's only a few players at 6 I would guess that they would go with. If it's not a quarterback, the kid from Penn State, it's a tackle from Penn State. I forgot his name to be honest. Damn, what's his name? It's an African name. I forgot. It's like Olu something. But yeah, he's the number 1 tackle in the draft. The other number 2 tackle, I think, or 1A and 1B, depending on who you ask, is a tackle by the name of Joe Alt from Notre Dame. Those are the best 2 offensive linemen in the draft. So one of them could very well be at 6. I would be shocked if we got one of them and skipped over a quarterback, though, especially if Jalen Daniels or I don't know if Michael Penix, the injury scares them like it scares me. It might not. So if that's the case, we're going to draft a quarterback anyway.
And if we don't pick a quarterback, wouldn't you go for that wide receiver you was talking about?
See, that wide receiver ain't going to last till 6, though. Marvin Harrison Jr., to me, is the best player in the draft, regardless of position. We just not going
about CD Lamb and all these other wide receivers. Not that CD Lamb was considered the number 1, but they've been wide receivers that have fell. But he wouldn't be one of them, huh?
Right, exactly. Nah, he wouldn't be one of them. He's going to be the number 1 wide receiver gone. And I forgot the wide receiver from LSU. He's going to be the second wide receiver taken. There's a couple wide receivers from Washington that's been killing because Michael Penix Jr. been throwing the ball to him. They're going to be picked they might have 2 wide receivers picked in the first round also. But yeah, I don't see us picking anybody on the defensive side of the ball at 6. No wide receiver unless Marvin Harrison Jr. falls there, and I don't think that's going to happen. Or maybe one of the tackles. Other than that, it almost has to be a quarterback to me. Yeah, Dwayne said Harrison will be gone by 3. Like I really do not think he's going to last till 6. Like let's think like people like he's the best like prospect since like Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson came out.
Wow.
So got to go back that far. Hold on, salute to Al Frank. I didn't see him. I think this is somebody new in the chat. Subscribe to the channel. Salute to Al Frank. He said, "I'm crying tears of joy right now. Giants are winning by a ton, and the Knicks spanked the Sixers by 40 points. It's the Devils next. Go New York, go New York, go." Right. So he must be a Rangers fan too, or maybe an Islanders fan. I'm not sure, but yeah. So salute to everybody in the chat, man. Salute to Al.
Salute.
I think I kind of caught up. If anybody got any questions in the chat about the draft, there's nothing really to report in the game. I didn't even do the stats and stuff yet, so
We
You know,
winning. That's the only
right.
stat.
Nothing has happened in the third quarter. Like they just going, both offenses is just not doing anything, and it's still 24-0. So that's why it's probably going to be mostly draft talk today and in the future. Future talk. This is going to be the last show for a while. I was thinking about maybe having a show during the Super Bowl, maybe halftime during the Super Bowl, but I'm not sure. I ain't really trying to see who's the Super Bowl acting this year. You remember?
No, I don't. Let me look it up.
Yeah, I thought it said maybe Usher, or is it? If it's Usher, I might want to see that. But if it's somebody like
Usher,
okay, right. So it was Usher,
the primary performer.
primary performer. So they're gonna have like Usher and Friends. Like what that mean? So
It says while the primary performer often has special guests help them on the stage.
right.
But I guess he would choose who they are. They've yet to be announced.
Okay.
But it's him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do no halftime show during Usher set though. No, I'm saying if it was like Taylor Swift or something, I'd be on here talking football.
Right.
But we'll see. But I don't know if I'm gonna have a show before now in the Super Bowl because I don't know the reason to, because none of the draft stuff will pop off yet.
Right.
None of the off-season stuff will pop off. No coaching. Maybe if we fired Wink or one of the coordinators. Rob got a good question. Do you think Wink is going to remain? That's a very good question, man. I don't know. Like it all depends his personal relationship with Brian Daboll, because when it comes to stats and statistics and the way our defense have played this year, I don't have a problem with Wink Martindale and the way he's coached our defense. If anything, I have a problem with Mike Kafka and the offensive side of the ball. But with our offensive line being so depleted as it was, I really can't blame him for the play calling either. But yeah, hopefully Wink will remain, but I don't know. It's like a 50-50 toss up in the air, because we've been hearing reports that they've been not getting along for the past like month and a half now. So you never know.
I was listening to Locked On Giants with Patricia Trainer, and she was like, if they don't get along, they just got to pull up their big boy pants and work it out.
Right. There's plenty of time coaches don't get along.
Right.
Only thing though, I don't know about not getting along with the head coach. Maybe like the offensive and defensive coordinators, or coordinators don't get along. But if you don't get along with the head coach,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know why the head coach would keep you. Like there's other defensive coordinators that can replace Wink Martindale, and it can still be a good defense. Yeah, so if I'm Brian Daboll, if I don't like you, you out. Like I'm the one in charge. Like I guess it depends on.
But you want to focus on the team too. But you're right. The head coach has to feel comfortable with his staff. So yeah.
Right. Have to feel comfortable. Are we going to franchise Saquon again? I don't know, man. The way that Saquon has been talking, it make it seem like this might be his last game as a Giant. Like he was talking about fresh starts and stuff like that. If it was up to me, I would not franchise him again, because I kind of, I'm thinking as a player though. I would hate to be franchised twice. To me, that's a real slap in the face if you franchise me twice and don't give me a deal. So if it was up to Saquon, if they're not going to give him a deal, I will hope they do not franchise him. But if they do franchise him again, Saquon's the type of person that he's not going to cause a divide in the locker room or anything. And he's going to be a good soldier, but it would definitely suck for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. He did say it has crossed his mind that this may be his last game.
Yeah. So I'm guessing maybe they told him they wasn't going to franchise him again. And he's not going to say that to anybody, but maybe the writing's on the wall for him. And this is his last year. Sterling Shepard, I think they was talking to Sterling Shepard. It might be, and it should be, his last year as a Giant as well. Like it's over for him. He hasn't played that much. Last week he finally got into a game and dropped a pass. The first pass that went his way, I think.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't. Hopefully Saquon will be with the team because I like Saquon. I would like to give him a long-term deal. It's
Yeah.
just not going to. Yeah, like
How
because
old
long.
is he? He just seems so old. He's not that old though, is he?
Nah, he's not that old. He's not 30 or nothing like that. Hold on, let me see how old Saquon Barkley is. It's just that if he wants like Christian McCaffrey money, or he'll be 27. He's 26 now. He'll be 27 when the season starts. He turned 27 in February. So yeah, that's still good money. Like give him a 4-year deal. He'll be 30,
Or
31. Yeah. He not gonna want no 2-year deal, Steph. Like you might as well. I
they're
think
not
he's
guaranteed anyway, right?
yeah, it's not like they're gonna all
Yeah.
be guaranteed. So like you could get rid of him at maybe after 2 years. Depends on how they
Right.
structured the deal.
Right.
But yeah, nobody is going to be live there. Nobody in football seems like they live like the whole way they deal.
Right.
Like they usually get cut or take some type of pay cut to stay or something like that. So I can give him 3-4 years, but I don't know what he wants. See, that's the thing. They might have offered him something like that. If he declined it, then yeah, I'm a franchise you. But you can't. You're not going to get. He's not going to get Christian McCaffrey money. That's dead. Like he doesn't produce enough for that, and he's not as good as Christian McCaffrey. But he's very good though. I still think he's like a top 5 back in the league. But yeah, at his age, I don't see why you can't just draft a couple running backs. Just just substitute his production with maybe 2 other running backs, 2 young ones that has pretty much no price on the or no dent on the salary cap, and just let him leave. But if they did, like I guess maybe I'm thinking that if they give him a long-term deal, it wouldn't be for that much. That's why I want him from a long deal.
Right.
Like maybe 10, 11, 12 year, 12 million per. Other than that, anything over that, then no. Hell no. Like he'll be like the top paid running back in the league or like top 2 or 3. He's not getting that.
Right.
Rob said, but number 5 has grown so much on the wing. Yep. Kayvon Thibodeau has balled out this year, double-digit sacks. Can't really ask that much from a second-year player. If anything, we'll draft the edge to substitute Azeez Ojulari on the other side because he's pretty much been a bust because of health. Like he could barely stay healthy. He was a 2nd-round pick with 1st-round talent. He was one of those guys that should have been picked in the 1st round, but he fell. But he hasn't lived up to that pick because of injury. So it's pretty much time to move on from him, I think.
Right.
So if we did, now to go back to the other question of who's available at 6, I will have to look into the best pass rushers at 6. If we did do that, I would kind of be shocked though, depending on who's on the board. But I guess I can't rule out pass rusher as well. I can't rule out an edge. One of the edges from UCLA. I forgot his name. See, I'm bad on names, but I just know where they play. Right. So yeah, the edge from UCLA.
At least you know that.
Right. It's an edge from Ohio State that's pretty good. Penn State got a couple edges that's pretty good, but I think Michigan has one that might be picked in the 1st round. They definitely have a defensive tackle that might be picked in the 1st or 2nd round because it's Chris Jenkins. I don't know if you remember Chris Jenkins. He played for the Jets and
the Giants too, right?
I don't think Chris Jenkins played for the Giants. I think he played for the Jets and the Panthers. I definitely remember the Panthers because that's where he was good. Like he was okay with the Jets, but he was like a all-pro with the Panthers. His son is coming out in the draft this year. He's a defensive tackle for Michigan, and they're playing for the national championship tomorrow. So yeah, pass rusher. I wouldn't put a pass rusher. I didn't even notice that they scored a field goal. So Philly got a field goal. It's 24-3. And Tyrod, I want to talk about Tyrod Taylor, man. He's because he's the highest paid backup in the league, I think. And as Sterling Shepard just called a pass, good for him. That might be the last pass he catches. Hopefully, because he still has the rest of the game to go. But, this might be his last go-around as a Giant. But Tyrod Taylor, every time he drops back, I'm afraid he gonna get hurt.
Mm.
He made out of glass. He got hurt this game too. And Tommy DeVito had to spell him from for a couple drives because he hurt his thumb, and I don't know how he hurt it. Like he didn't even I don't know what happened. He obviously hurt his thumb, had to come out for a couple series, and now he's back. But every time Tyrod Taylor drops back, I think he's gonna get hurt. So this being the last year of his contract, we might have to get another quarterback in here. But I don't know. That's tricky because if we draft a quarterback, Daniel Jones will still be on the roster, and he's going to want to play. So Daniel Jones will probably be our starter next year with the backup, with the rookie being the backup.
He might not even be ready.
The timetable is around that time when the season starts. Yeah, because he got hurt early enough for, it's not a calendar year anymore for like an ACL. Luckily, modern medicine has come leaps and bounds from like the 80s and the 90s where the ACL, you was pretty much done. You was either done or, it might take like a year and a half for you to come back. But now, look at Wendell Robinson. Wendell Robinson tore his ACL, I think, in week 2 or 3 last year. He was a rookie. So he pretty much didn't do anything his rookie year because he was hurt all last year. But then in the beginning of the year, he was set to come back. And I think he came back in like week 3 or 4 or something like that. So it usually take about a calendar year, and Daniel Jones isn't that far from that. So we'll see. That was a wide receiver that has to do all the cutting and stuff like that. Daniel Jones, all you got to do is drop back. You don't have to use him like he was being used before. Like, you don't got to be like a fullback or anything like that. Just drop back and throw the ball. His ACL will be fine for that in September. Let's see if anybody else got any more questions. Al said from LSU, so he likes Jalen Daniels. So a lot of people like Jalen Daniels because he can run and throw. Only thing, he real frail though. He might not. I don't know about his injury history, but he's super slight. Like if he get hit hard, I think he just might fall apart. I don't know. In the NFL, like he real slight. Salute to Stafford. Don. Just got that win today. We was talking about the Jets a little bit earlier. I said that it was the first time y'all beat the Patriots in a minute, and Bill Belichick, it was his last game probably as a Patriots, and you beat him in his last game. So the Jets fans are probably hyped about that, I would guess. And it was a very snowy, because I watched mostly all that game too. It was like a blizzard going on in New England, and they went down to New England and beat the Patriots. So that's good for the Jets, and it didn't hurt their draft position, I don't think either. Look, Staff said 15 straight, Staff.
What, for the Knicks?
No, for the Patriots beat the Jets 15 straight times.
15 straight. Wow.
That's nuts. You got to think about it. They play them twice a year. So they ain't beat them in like 7 years, man. 7 to 8 years almost. So, yeah, that was a big win for the Jets today. I just saw Darren Waller. That's a question about what is his future with the Jets. I don't know if he's going to be back next year. We have an out in his contract. He's one of the highest paid tight ends in the league. And he's pretty much done absolutely nothing for us this year. Not his fault. Like, he missed like a quarter of the season being injured, but like, you never know. Like, if we get another quarterback in here, how is he going to do when it comes to injuries? Because talent-wise, like you just saw, at least I just saw, he just caught a little 6-yard pass. Like, he's always open. Like, it's hard. He's very, very hard to guard. But I think they have notable free agents: Saquon, Sterling Shepard, A'Shawn Robinson, Isaiah Simmons, and I didn't see the other two. But a lot of the guys that we got this year were pretty much just 1-year deals. Paris Campbell, we was actually excited about getting Paris Campbell in the beginning of the year. He did absolutely nothing for us this year. I mean, he got hurt as well. Who else? Darren Waller. He might not be back. Ashawn Robinson, backup defensive tackle. He didn't really do much this year either. He might not be back. Isaiah Simmons, I really hope we do sign back.
I hope so.
But it all depends on how much he wants. Because he would most likely be a backup. That's why. Because Bobby Okereke is going to be the starter. And McFadden has looked good at the other starting linebacker spot so far. And he's young. He's not up for a payday for another couple years. So if I was the Giants, I'll keep them too. I'll tell Isaiah Simmons, well, you're probably not going to start, but we're going to give you a lot of snaps. Are you okay with that? If he's okay with that, then we'll talk about contract. But if he's not, we got to let him walk.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm trying to see any other free agents or anything like that I can think of. Our wide receivers, I guess I'll go position by position. Wide receivers, we obviously still need a top dog. Our young wide receivers is going to be a year older. Jalen Hyatt and Wendell Robinson are our two young wide receivers that should be getting the ball for the most part next year, I would hope. Everybody else should probably be expendable, like Slayton. Who is Slayton?
So you don't think he's coming back?
No, Slayton is probably going to come back because I still think he's under contract, so he'll probably come back. But I don't want him to be our number one wide receiver again.
Oh no,
but this year he was our number one wide receiver against that. So next year it better be either Jalen Hyatt or Wendell Robinson. That's what I'm saying. If we don't get anybody else. But for me, I would like us to actually, I got to see who's the number one wide receivers in free agency. I think T. Higgins from Cincinnati, I think he might be the number one free agent wide receiver this coming off season.
Mm-hmm.
But he will, like, it will be a lot of money for him. So I don't know if we can afford him. So we'll see. If we didn't have Daniel Jones' contract, I'd throw the kitchen sink at T. Higgins. But since we got that $40 million contract, on our head for another year, T. Higgins might be a pipe dream because of the cost it would take for him to come over here. Other than that, I don't really remember who's the free agent wide receivers. I have to look at a list or something. But running back, we already talked about running back. Tight end, we already talked about tight end with Darren Waller. Our offensive line, we already talked about them. Our tackles is, to me, even Evan Neal, a lot of people think he a bust, right? Evan Neal is not a bust, at least not yet. He's only played a year and a half. He was pretty much hurt half of this season. He played a little better this season, not in the beginning of the season, but he was coming along. Mm-hmm. Then he hurt his ankle. He had ankle surgery, so he was done for the year. I'm not ready to say that he's a bust, that he should kick the inside because he's never played guard at this level. We don't know if he's going to be a good guard either. So I don't know about the free agents on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to the line. If anything, I'll look at the guard position. We need upgrade on both guards because Justin Pugh, it was a good story. He was coming straight off the couch. But yeah, I don't think he's a starting lineman in the NFL anymore. I think he should be a backup. He even said that he'll retire once he gets either cut or whatever from the Giants. He's going to retire. He's not going to play for another team. He's pretty much ready to retire if he's not playing for us or helping us out in any way. Because he started with us, and he said if he gets cut or anything happens like that, he's probably not going to play for anybody else. It's over. So if anything on our offensive line, we need to upgrade on both of the guard positions. On defense, we'll go from the inside out. Defensive line, obviously we got one of the best interior linemen in Dexter Lawrence. He is our only Pro Bowler this year that was voted in the Pro Bowl. I think Bobby Okereke should have got voted too because he was killing this year and one of the leaders in tackles in the season. But yeah, we still need defensive line depth inside and out. Like our starters are okay. but we don't have any depth behind Kayvon Thibodeau. It's like, say if Kayvon Thibodeau gets hurt, who plays behind him?
Right.
And Azeez Ojulari kind of stays hurt usually, and that messes up our defense every year, man. We don't never have any type of depth on the edge when it comes to defense. Salute to Ally Wise, just popped up in the chat. Salute, bro. Our corners is pretty much okay because our corners are young. Like we have Deontay Banks, who I actually think is going to become one of the best corners in the league.
Oh, wow.
He's done, like, the advanced stats show that he has been one of the best lockdown corners in the league already. He got hurt. He was hurt last week. I don't think he played this week either. But yeah, him, Trey Hawkins, 6th-round pick. He's a young guy that they really, really like. I don't know if he's capable of being an everyday starter, but Adoree Jackson, I think he might be a free agent or his contract might be up. We might be getting rid of him. And Xavier McKinney, I think contract is up too. So I actually wanted Xavier McKinney back, and I think we should let Adoree Jackson walk. And that's our defensive backfield. We'll see when it comes to the off season what they do with Xavier McKinney, because he might ask for a lot of money, and depending on what our salary cap situation, he might be a cap casualty. We might not get Xavier McKinney back simply because he might be outpriced his position with us. So
I heard that as well, listening to one of the podcasts.
Okay.
Similar to Collins, that he may be offered something somewhere else.
Got you. When Landon Collins, because Landon Collins was all pro with us, man. Like he was one of the best safeties in the league too for like a 2-3 year period. So yeah, exactly right. Just like Landon Collins. So we might have
to wind up on Washington, I think it was.
Yeah, because we traded him because of the money, and I don't know, it had a lot to do with locker room stuff too. They was getting rid of. Remember, they got rid of Odell. They got rid of Landon Collins. They got rid of everybody with like that speaks their mind in the locker room. Those were the two guys that actually had something to say, in our locker room every week. So they got rid of both of them. David Gettleman got rid of both of them. So, so I think that's pretty much it when it comes to free agency. Like, we'll see what happens. We still are one of the youngest teams in the league. So that's why when it comes to free agency, a lot of them, we don't have a lot of free agents on this team, I don't think. Not ones that we covet, I should say. Mm-hmm. Not like the young guys on our teams, they're not up for free agency yet. Right. Xavier McKinney is the number one so far. I think he might be the only one looking for, like, out of our young guys to look for a contract that's going to be here for like a very long time. Eagles scored. It's going to be 10-24, unless they missed the extra point. But Quez Watkins with a touchdown thrown by who's the quarterback? Mariota. So the Eagles just scored their first touchdown. All I need is an Eagles comeback now.
Oh.
They would be cooking with gas. Then I got to go through the whole draft stuff all over again. But even at this point, even if we lose this game, we're not getting fourth. I think, hold on, if we lose, we still going to be like either fifth or sixth because everybody else lost too. So I think we locked in at 5 or 6. Yeah, I think we locked in on 5 or 6. Other than that, so Steph, what do you think about the Knicks, man? 4 games straight. We on a 4-gamer.
I'm super excited about our defense, but I really want OG to be a little more involved in the offense. I get it that he's an off-ball player, but I don't know.
I don't think he's capable of doing that, though, Steph.
But then maybe they need to pass to him a little bit more on the corner threes. I know he can't create his own shot, but can they get him more involved in terms of getting him shots in the corner, right, where he's good at?
But seem like if you just gonna stand in the corner, don't you got to get it when you get it though?
I don't
Like,
know.
how do
I
you
just
run
feel like
plays
we
for
can't
somebody in
be.
the corner?
That's true. I feel like we can't be paying 60, $100 million to him just for defense. That's all I'm saying. Like, you got to give us something on the offensive end.
Man, he'd be like, I give you defense and very good corner shooting.
But we need the corner. I don't know. I just feel like
I
our
got it.
offense is at the mercy of Randall and Brunson. Like,
Right.
when they decide they're gonna pass.
Yeah, I still do. Well, unless they get somebody else. Like
Yeah.
we was talking about Murray or Levine or somebody like that. But then they can't do that then.
Yeah. But I'm excited though. This is what I wanted. I wanted an offense where everybody on the court was a threat. I watched the game. I'm like, look at the key wide open.
Yep.
Because you gotta guard OG. You even gotta guard iHeart. You can't just leave them, wide open. So I'm
Right.
really loving our offense right now.
Right.
And the defense.
So when Mitch come back, that's the question.
I'm over Mitch. Now, I shouldn't say that because I don't want to sound disrespectful.
Okay.
Because I really like what he does on the defensive end. But I do think if you got perimeter defenders, like I've been saying, you do not need an elite rim protector if you have good perimeter defenders.
Right.
Other teams are making it without a Mitch.
Yep. Stafford said he talked about OG. Not his personality, but it'll take time to pick his spots to score. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes he'll have it and he'll just pass it back. I'm like, what are you doing?
Like trying to be too unselfish, trying to be nice.
Yeah.
He seemed like he's too nice, which is weird for a defender.
Yeah. I guess he's trying to fit in and maybe not make any waves.
Nah, but when he like that in Toronto, he wasn't like overly aggressive on offense.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think it's in him. I think he's just a nice dude that plays defense pretty well. Deuce is balling too. Yep. Deuce is balling. I like to see it. I like to see a huge putback yesterday.
Yes,
Almost jumped out of my
great.
seat. Like, okay, Deuce. And Sterling Shepard catches another pass, I see. That's what's up, man. Feed Sterling Shepard, man. I hope he come back like as a coach or something. Because he's been pretty good for us, for our franchise. But, he's just been hurt all the time. He's still relatively young. He's not an old man. But he's our longest tenured Giant.
Yeah.
Which is kind of saying something.
Yeah.
Queen, we need both centers to win. So need to stop that narrative. Well, I don't think we need.
This is the thing. You can't have all of that money wrapped up in the center position.
Right.
You're going to have, so you playing Mitch 15 or 14. I know he's on a descending contract and you're playing, that's a lot of money to have wrapped up in a center.
Right.
Which that's not a primary position in the NBA. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Obviously, you need a center, but two of them?
Right. And plus, they just so different. I don't think you need Mitch to win.
You do not need Mitch to win. Because there's a drop-off with Hartenstein interior defense, but it's not huge.
Right. It's not huge. But we'll see. I don't know, like, Mitch isn't doing himself no favors by staying hurt every year, too.
Correct.
He get hurt every season, and for, like, a long period of time, too. It's not like a nagging injury here and there. And they all seem like they're all lower extremity injuries, like either ankle or knee, or then he had like back issues at one point. Like, it's kind of scaring me that he keeps getting hurt every year. But I don't know. I don't want to just get rid of Mitch for nothing, though. Like, if we trade him,
no.
you know what I'm saying? It'll be like a
trade him.
Yeah, trade, and it will have to be a trade for something good, like an upgrade at another position or something like that. Stafford. It's not. I don't think
he would have to go in a package because he's injured.
Right.
So I don't think his stock is up where you would really get anything. Just him alone.
Right. Especially if he's not slated to come back until next season.
Right.
Like, what would you get from him now anyway? And if he's not here, I don't know. It doesn't matter how much we like Mitch if he can't play, like he stay hurt all the time. So I don't know. We'll see. Because I definitely do not, like you said, you have to be in a package. You don't have to be for somebody that's an upgrade. Like I'm not. I refuse to. I don't want Mitch off the team just to have him off the team. Like I don't dislike him. You know what I'm saying? It'll just have to be. Stop. Hold on. Rob said Tibbs is going to fight to keep Mitchie.
You might be right. You might be right.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Stop said they both bring different things to the game, but they're not going to get rid of Mitch. They want to see how it looked with him. Well,
we already know how it looked with Mitch.
Yeah, it ain't gonna change.
It ain't gonna change. He's a liability on offense. I'm not saying anything new. It's not like I'm saying, oh, because I'm saying something new. I'm saying the same thing I've always said. I appreciate his defense, but he clogs up the offense. And it's not even about his lack of scoring. It's about his difficulty moving the offense along, whether that's a pass to the 3-point line, hitting cutters. The offense is a little more stagnant when Mitch is there.
Right. Rob said, I heard Frenchman, Grimes, Mitch for Capella and Murray.
I would do it, but I can't say I'm that high on Capella. I feel like behind Hartenstein, how much do you need?
We do need somebody though.
You do need somebody, but do you need a Capella or do you need somebody that could just come in and play 15 minutes?
Yeah, I would see how much. I need to see how much Capella makes because I'm not the biggest fan of him either. I do want Murray though. So if we can get both, I mean, we don't have to keep Capella after this season. It all depends, but I definitely want Murray though.
I mean, if this is the last year of his contract, then that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, but that package, especially how many first round picks is attached to that package too. So we're gonna do them 3, but only like two first round picks or something like that. Yeah, I do it. No, but now if you get into like 4 first round picks I'm not doing all that. Like that's different.
Right. Stafford, we need both centers to win. No, Stafford, we don't need both centers to win. I'm going to stop the narrative when you're going to stop clinging to Mitchell Robinson. We do not need both centers to win. We already see that we can win without Mitchell Robinson.
We saw that last year when he got hurt and Hartenstein filled in for him. Hartenstein playing better than he did last year, though.
He is. That's what happens when you get consistent. He's getting consistent minutes.
And it's a contract year for him, too.
And it's a contract year.
Yeah, let's not get that twisted. That is a factor. We might not, think it is, but, he's trying to get paid just like everybody else is. But that's the thing, Stafford. Would you keep Mitchell Robinson and let Hartenstein go if you can't pay both? Like that, I think that's the question. Like, do you like Mitch enough to keep him and let Hartenstein go? Because what if you can't have both? Because his contract is coming up. So as well as he's playing now, I think he's outplaying Mitchell Robinson for what he does for the team at that price. So you have to give him another 15. Like, what do? You're just gonna have over $30 million wrapped up in the center position between 2 centers. And if you do that, then you wouldn't be able to do something else. Like, I don't like that. If I had to keep one. Right. And now, since Hartenstein, his contract is coming up, then to me, you have to keep one or the other. Unless you're going to go with Mitch as the starting center and bring somebody else in as the backup and just let Hartenstein go altogether.
Right.
Can't have both. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, maybe like somebody said in the chat, maybe Tom Thibodeau will be in there banging the table that he wants to pay $30 million for both of them, even if that means our bench is a little short or whatever.
Giants score a field goal, so it's 10 to 27. You scored. Those are our first points of the second half. Sterling Shepard, they bigging him up. It looked like he had a nice play. Sterling Shepard just hugged Wink Martindale. Like, where did that come from? That's not even one of his coaches. But that's how much respect Sterling Shepard got in the whole coaching staff. He talking to Brian Daboll now. See, I really wish he'd come back. Like, I just like him as a vet. You know, he gonna give you his all. He just stay hurt all the time. I even keep him for like, you know, maybe 1 year deal, some, you know, vet minimum type stuff. But, you know, he's just gonna bring up a roster spot though. That's the only bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon Barkley digging in his ear on the sideline. He might be done. Because they had Eric Gray in that the last drive. I saw him carry the ball a couple times. So yeah, man, it's only a little over 3 minutes of the season. Just the last show. Look, Prince know that too. He
Okay. He said, "This is over.
It's over. I'm tired of this." She always in front of this camera. She probably mad as Steph. Prince mad as Steph right now. It's over.
We still cool, Stafford. We still cool. Agree to
course.
disagree. We ain't nothing but love.
Of course. We didn't do nothing but talk about it on your show on what, Friday? You got Fridays now? Tyrod Taylor almost got I didn't do any stats since we've been up here. I do it at the end of the game. Saquon Barkley almost got 100 yards, and I think because of that he cracked the 1,000-yard mark
for the season. Wow.
Yeah, that's saying a lot with this offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And he missed a few games too. So that's showing you he's definitely still productive. Like Saquon isn't young, but he isn't old either. He's still got a good 3 years, 4 years that he could probably run like this, I would think. Part of the reason I would not mind a long-term deal. It just depends on what those numbers look like.
Right.
So it's a little over 3:30 left. Mariota still looking like Mariota. Sorry as hell. Just fumbled the ball and we get the ball again. Sterling Shepard smiling because he wanted the ball again. He want to get as many catches as he can because it's probably going to be his last game. Yeah, Marcus Mariota, another turnover. Eagles are in trouble. I'm a Giants fan, so when I say stuff like that, you know, it sound like hate. But they in trouble. They're
not actually rolling into the playoffs. You know what I mean?
They in trouble because I don't know the extent of AJ Brown's injury, but it looked pretty bad. So he might not even be available for the playoffs. They gave the ball to Sterling Shepard again. See, look, they having fun now. Yeah, they're having fun now. One thing it's the last game of the season, so it doesn't matter. But Jalen Hyatt, he left with a hamstring injury. I think in the second quarter, I think he was done for the night. I would like to know I'm watching it on mute, so I don't know if they actually said anything about him. But I would like to know the extent on that injury. I hope it's not too bad. But it's the last game of the season. He's obviously going to be back next year, but I don't want it to be too crazy. Because hamstrings linger.
Well, if they linger until next season.
I'm saying, you ever notice that people with bad hamstrings always hurt their hamstrings, though?
That's what happened with Waller.
Yep. Waller's a hamstring. Like, he pulls her hamstring every season. What's names like that, too, when he was here for a little bit, too? Odell. Remember, he started off with a hamstring injury and missed the first 4 games of his rookie year. Then he hurt it again. Like I think the next year and missed a couple games. Yeah, they trying to feed the ball to Sterling Shepard. Yeah, they waived Taj today. I
Yeah,
think Pressures Achua did that though. That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
they waived Taj.
And
Like
his contract is guaranteed on the 10th.
it wasn't guaranteed today.
Mm-mm.
I thought somebody said it was guaranteed today. So that's why they
I think it was guaranteed on the 10th. And so
wow.
they wanted to, you know, waive him before that.
Man, you might as well gave Taj that money, man. You Dolan ain't need that. It's not like it would stay on the books or something. I don't think, right?
Yeah, it counts against the salary cap, depending on what you're trying to do.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so it's time for him to go then because he wasn't gonna. He's gonna be strictly situational. So I guess that Pressure Chua is automatically gonna be the backup five then.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
since he's
necessarily
been
like
here,
that though.
me either. Since he's been here, we haven't seen. But he's about as big as Taj, though. Taj ain't that big either.
Yeah, that's true. About 6'8", 6'9" ish. Um, didn't Precious hit a three the other day too?
He did. He did.
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of Precious. I don't think he a bum though, but I don't want him as our backup five. I like him as the backup four and didn't have another big with him.
I'm with you.
But if he got to be the five, then nah, I don't like that going forward. He ain't trying to hear that. He don't want this season to end, Steph. uh, they kept Ryan. His money is guaranteed. Yeah, they kept Ryan. You know they was gonna do that just for morale because of Jalen Brunson. Time to read my granddaughter's story to bedtime. Oh, yo, peace, Dwayne. Salute. Thanks for rocking with us. Yeah, man, we'll be here. I don't know the next time I'm gonna have a show. Maybe Super Bowl. But I don't know. Definitely gonna have an off-season show. Gonna have multiple draft shows. I'm gonna be live during the draft. On the first night of the draft in the first round. And I'm definitely going to have a post-draft show to talk about all our draft picks too. So this is going to be the last show for a while, but I will definitely be back in the offseason. So salute, Dwayne. You're always here, and definitely appreciate you being in the chat every week. How much time we got left? Let me see here. Oh snap! Remember I said the Chargers probably not gonna beat the Chiefs? They're actually beating the Chiefs now. Hold on. See? So that actually meant, Steph, if we would have lost this game, we might have could have went to 4. Because the Chargers are actually beating the Chiefs. Yes. Because it was either going to be 4, 5, or 6. I think the Chargers is at 4. We're at 5, and somebody else is at 6. Because if we would have lost and the Chargers would have won, we would have leapfrogged them to 4, and they would have been 5. But now that we won and Washington lost, and Arizona, I think, is going to lose. I got to check their score. We automatically at 6 now, I think, just because we won. But if we would have lost, we might have went to 4.
Wow.
Damn. I didn't think the Chargers had a shot. Unless I'm thinking, I don't know if KC pulled their starters because the score is 12-10. And 10 points from a Kansas City Chiefs team doesn't sound right. So I don't know if they're, starting everybody. Yeah, the playoffs are set. Philly and Tampa, Rams and Detroit. And San Francisco is the number 1 seed. Well, another year, another time the Eagles messed up the Giants draft position. This isn't the first time they're going to do it, and they love stuff like this. It sucks for them, though, because they was actually battling for the 2nd seed today. If they would have won and Dallas would have lost, they would have got the 2nd seed. But since they lost, they automatically go down to 5th. And they don't have a first-round bye now, and they have, mad injuries. And they got to play next week. They got to play the Buccaneers,
Mm-hmm.
who won the South. So they lose next week. Oh, I'm gonna love that.
Okay.
So we got a little over. Let me see how much time we got left. Oh, this game about to be over. Let me bring the stats in. Hold on real quick. We can get out of this stuff. Enjoy the rest of our Sunday. All right, it is final. The New York Giants have beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-10.
Mm.
In a very, very, very boring second half. I mean, it was 24-0 when we got on here, so nothing really happened. But hopefully, me and Steph would give you all the entertainment you needed for the second half. Marcus Mariota had an interception and a touchdown, but I don't even, what am I doing? I'm gonna just do the Giants. There's no point of doing Philly because they pretty much quit. Tyrod Taylor almost had 300 yards. He probably would have had over 300 yards if he wouldn't have got hurt in the first quarter. Tommy DeVito came in. Saquon Barkley, 46 yards. I thought you had 90 something. Was that 90 something total? So that means Saquon Barkley might not have gotten 1,000 yards then. I thought they said he had 90 something yards, but I thought it was 90 something yards on the ground. It might have been 90 something yards total. So that means Saquon probably got like 900 or something yards. He's probably pissed that he didn't get the
Did he get a bonus for 1,000?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think the only bonuses he would have got it should have been like 1,200 yards or something like that. Remember the extra $1 million they gave him to come in to training camp or whatever? Mm-hmm. None of that stuff conveyed. I don't think any of it. So he pretty much did that for nothing. Unfortunately, yeah, he combined for 97 yards because he had 51 in the air. Robinson, 85 yards on 5 catches. Darius Slayton, 62 yards. Had a touchdown on 5 catches. Darren Waller chipped in with 5 catches as well. Yeah, that's all really to report. And
right now,
Belton has 6 tackles and a sack. Bobby Okereke killed like he always have been doing for us all year. 8 tackles and a sack. Ojulari had two sacks. He's been hurt for like half of the season, so that was good on him. Kayvon didn't end up with any sacks today, but he played pretty well on the edge, especially in the run game. And Xavier McKinney picked off, got 2 pickoffs. So it was 2 interceptions for Xavier McKinney. He want to get paid. So that's it, man. The Giants end the season at 6-11. I would guess that we would be the 6th. I'm going in thinking that we're going to have the 6th pick of the draft. Hold on, let me see if I can actually confirm that though. I'm not sure if I can confirm it quickly, but I think we got the 6th pick. So we'll see. Steph, any last words? I know Queens Court. The Queens Court is tomorrow.
Yep. Nothing but next YouTube channel. I just want to say shout out to you, Jarrell, for just this space. I hadn't been watching the Giants for maybe 2 seasons before you started this show, and it just reminded me of my love for the Giants and keeping up with them, and start back listening to the Giants podcast. And it's not easy to show up every week when the team is losing. I mean, when I started podcasting, the Knicks was past that 17 when I probably would have had a stroke. They were past that, 17 games, losing. So I kind of started when they were on the upswing. So just shout out to you for the work that you do, and just how knowledgeable you are, and just how much I've learned actually sharing the panel with you.
Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that, man. Yeah. Really appreciate that. Like, I love doing stuff like this.
You good.
And I thank you. And I love actually telling people about the game. Like, it comes easy to me. I was already like a draft nerd. To me, like the combine is like Christmas. I take off work and everything. So like
Wow.
I'm here chilling. Yes, I take off
Mhm.
work. I got notes. I know where everybody 40 time is. I know where
Mm.
everybody benched, all the
Nice,
drills. I'll
nice.
sit here and usually it's like a 3 day event. I take off work for like 3 days. I'll be chilling. It'd be that's my vacation every February.
There you go.
So
There you go.
I like stuff like that. I like dealing with the draft. So I love doing stuff like this. You guys will probably see me again. Probably the Super Bowl, I'm guessing, but definitely in the off season. Salute the one woman in the chat.
Salute.
You be here every week.
Yes.
Salute the staffer that came through, Jets fan, but he
Salute
came through with
staff.
the Giants in the Giants joint talking mess.
Mhm.
Now I'm saying he be coming in here, but salute to my guy staffer, Rob Bracy, of course, you my guy. You diehard. Dwayne, all our wise came through. Mega's always here. A new guy, Al Frank. Salute to you.
Salute to Al Frank.
Yeah, salute to Al Frank. Remember, he came in here. I think this is the first time they seeing him. So subscribe to the channel and check out all our videos moving forward. We'd love to see you in the chat. Who else came through? Geraldine came through. First Lady's always here.
Mhm.
And I think that was it that came through in the chat, man.
Think so.
Steph, you said Fridays for just nicking it, right?
Yep, we're moving to Fridays. The Knicks have a host of Thursday games in January and February, so we're moving to Friday, and then we'll keep you updated on what we're going to do in March and April. But yeah, we're moving to Friday.
All right, so we're moving to Friday. Steph got Queen Court tomorrow on
Yep.
MBK. You'll see me on her channel on Friday. I'll be there 9 o'clock, and we'll be talking football soon enough. So salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody watching on the replay gang. If you do that, like and subscribe to the channel. And we out. It's been a rough season, but it is what it is. That's what how football is. So
Yeah, you're right.
see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.